So since the last time we looked at one of the monster mines, Sawboss, it was bothering me that I didn't have a lightning league, so at least we could have a bad guy and a good guy. So I was able to find one still in the box, although the box is in really bad shape. And that one that I found was Drill Sergeant. It's my second favorite of the lightning lead. I would have liked to have gotten Armed Force, of course, but it just wasn't in the cards. This box is in rough shape as well. I think it's in worse shape than the Sawboss was. So the back really isn't that much different, except that it's got Drill Sergeant specific artwork. No Trap Can Hold Drill Sergeant, the Lightning League escape artist. So they did try to give them each their own personal kind of trait. Drill Sergeant's unique weapon being the large drill that it sports on the top. He's being menaced by KO Cruiser, who's probably one of the lamer villains. It says he comes with the super drill, a range rocket, a V8 engine, a rotator gun, and smoke screener. Ooh. 2 spirals, 2 lightning runners, and 2 street beaters. They even named the different styles of wheels, which is kind of interesting. Drill Sergeant in the lineup here. I definitely think Armed Force and Drill Sergeant are the coolest looking of the Lightning League. Spike, Trike, and Quickjaw are kind of whatever. And it's kind of the same with the monster mines, like Sawboss and Terror Tank, in my opinion, are the clear champs here. Gun Grinner is pretty fun, and KO Cruiser is kind of the least cool. So let's take the escape artist out of his package. And surprisingly, this one is still sealed on both sides. Clearly it has been, I don't know if it was removed through the blister at one point, and that's why the sides are still sealed, but it looks like there is some wear on these metallized parts, so you'll get to see how quickly those can deteriorate. So yeah, judging by the condition that the comic has been just crammed into this thing, somebody clearly opened it, and it feels like there's been some moisture or water damage because it's quite crusty. Here's Drill Sergeant as it appears right out of the package. This one is in fantastic shape. There's no yellowing started yet on the plastic. There's a little bit here, it looks like. Probably from the same moisture that's been able to invade this thing, but again, there's this great detailing, these huge engine turbines here, just more greebling and foil detail, and that shows through into the cockpit as well, which Drill Sergeant is unique in that it has space for 2 figures. I don't think any of the other good or bad vehicles allow that. Yeah, I remember in the cartoon it was always kind of diving down and drilling into the ground, which doesn't seem very feasible since the drill doesn't really extend beyond the nose of the craft, but that is the gimmick with this toy, is that they can be put anywhere on the many hard points that they have all over them, including the entire chassis can remove. As you can see, there's pegs here. Again, this is a pretty fragile mounting to the body, so I'm just not quite brave enough to pull that one off I just feel like it's gonna crack. So his engine is an add-on here, the big V8 it's supposed to be, with the big drill is his unique accessory which spins. I guess this is supposed to be that gas cannon that they were talking about, this humongous gun. It came with several loose guns as well. There's this kind of triple gun too that I think we also saw in a different color on Sawboss. This 3 stacked missile and 2 extra smaller tires, and you can see it looks like some moisture damage on this tire. I was so busy looking at the rest of this Drill Sergeant that I missed that the wheels that the person had put on not facing the outside are in pretty bad shape, although it's hard to see in the light. This one's all scuffed up, and this one's got some of that same scuffing and just straight up damage. So these are things to look out for if you decide to collect Wheeled Warriors. They're difficult to get with all the pieces, for one, and 2, it's very hard to find them in decent shape. Here's what the Lightning League figures look like. They're extremely tall and lanky dudes in kind of rust-colored jumpsuits. They have a very tiny little lightning detail on their front pocket, and the larger one on the back. And the only difference between them, there are variants of them, but it's really just the hair color that changes. They're articulated at the hips so they can sit, and their arms do raise up. They fit into the cockpits pretty well, but same thing with the Monster Mind. There's no kind of clip or anything to hold them in there, so they do kind of rattle around a little bit. So there we have Drill Sergeant, the Lightning League's escape artist. So I think that's going to wrap up our very small and short series on Wheeled Warriors, just due to the high prices these things go for in their package. I do have them all loose. If you guys are interested in seeing the rest of them, I'd be happy to pull them out, but just let me know in the comments. I really wish this line had continued, though. I think Wheeled Warriors had such potential, and like there's lots of different kinds of wheels and chassis that they have, and you know, these would have been just tons of fun to just sit and swap the parts out and find the best look on each one, you know. Well, thank you very much for watching, as always, and we've got a couple more one-off things I'd like to get to, and then I think we'll dive back into another series, maybe Swamp Thing or Hook, Dragon Hearts, Last Action Hero. Let me know which one sounds good to you, and we'll get started filming those. I'll see you guys in the next video.